Hi, welcome back to Book Buzz with Jen and Payne, a podcast focused on romance books. Today, we're going to be talking about our current reads, and then we're also going to dive into the books that we're excited to read that are going to be coming out later this year, and then some next year, because I have some that are coming out next year. So sit back, grab some coffee, and we hope you enjoy today's episode.
It's been a long time since we talked about our current reads. So this book, I've read it a few weeks back, but I would want to talk about it. Hard to Love by K. Bromberg. That book, oh my gosh. I had so many emotions for that book. If you guys saw my review of the book on Goodreads, I said I had a really, really hard time liking the heroine, Stevie. Oh my goodness. I don't remember. I believe up until half of the book, I had a really hard time liking the heroine, but I love the hero. Finn. Yes. I seriously think there's something about Christie's heroes that I love so much. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever disliked any of her heroes. I like them from the beginning of the book. But for this one, Stevie is still grieving from her dad's death. It's been 6 months since her dad's death and his funeral, and so she was mad at him because she didn't fully know that he was sick because he was hiding it from her. So she was mad, sad, depressed. I don't know if you would say depressed, but she totally went downhill. She's a tennis player, so she went downhill, partying, drinking, and then so I had a really hard time liking her. Like, I understand everyone grieves differently, but when you just literally throw your whole life, like all your hard work away, I just have a really hard time connecting with her.
But you have to get it too, because I finished the book too.
Yeah.
I loved it. I love Finn. I didn't think I was gonna like Finn as much as I did. I loved him. But I get her point. Yeah, she was a little bit hard to love, like the title, in the begging, but I kind of understand where she's coming from, because like you said, she is grieving. I mean, her dad, the guy she loved and respected the most, I mean, is dead. So you have to see it through that point too. What I didn't like was that she was really mean to Carson. I felt so bad for him because all he wanted to do was, keep the promise that he made, her dad, of, being there for her, making sure she was okay. And I felt bad because of the way she treated him. But I kind of get why she was the way she was, though.
Yeah. I totally get it, because I myself went through it. I lost my dad years ago, so I totally get it. I totally get the grieving section, but the way how she totally, like how you said, she totally disrespected someone
around her.
Yeah, someone who was also close to her dad. Also, she was, I don't know, but yeah, I have a hard time liking her. But halfway when she turned around. And I love her. I do love her. It was only the beginning when I was like, oh my gosh, this girl.
When she was the party animal.
Yes. And so, but I did love the book. I seriously don't think the title Hard to Love was for Finn. I seriously think it was more towards her. Because he was a cheater in previous books. So that's probably why.
But it was
interesting because
Mhm.
I remember nobody liked him.
Really?
Because he had cheated. So no, everybody was like he's a cheater. You know what I mean? But I loved him. Like, he was perfect.
Yeah, I seriously didn't even, I have to be honest, I seriously didn't even care or think about getting a book for him. Like, he was like, flew by. I didn't even care. But then when she said she was going to write his book, I was like, oh, okay. I guess I
can
will
see it. I can see it.
So yeah, I didn't hate him. I think he was totally, I don't know, but I was not part of the group that did not like him.
To me, he was interesting. I guess it is okay. So I'm gonna sidetrack a little bit.
Mhm.
It's same with when Corinne wrote the Aaron Wood brothers.
Mhm.
How obsessed I got with Oliver. And he was just a side little character. You know what I mean? He didn't have a plot. He didn't have a big storyline to say, oh, I want him to get a book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the same thing happened with Finn. It's like, when you knew he was getting a book, you're like, I can see it.
Yeah. Yeah. And let's see, another book that I read this past week is actually a very small
It's a
novella. Yeah. I saw Katie Robert talking about it. So I was like, oh, I'm going to read it. Because you know me, I love Katie Robert. So I was like, okay, I'm going to read it. She recommended The Good Girl by Shiloh Clark. It's the title, it says The Good Girl, Pure Smut. It's just a pure smut book, but it's a very short book. So I was like, okay, I'll read it. And I actually really enjoyed it. She was engaged to her fiance is in debt. So they someone offered her a card, so she went there, and it's pretty much just where they auction for a girl to spend time with the girl, and she ended up liking the guy who auctioned and won her. She ended up liking that guy and do all this stuff with that guy. Well, so yeah, that's pretty much just, I'm not going to give the full thing away because if you want to read it, I don't want to spoil it for you. So yes, it was actually just a very short book, but I really did enjoy it. This is my first book by Shiloh, and I would love to read more. And another one that I read, it just came across my, I was looking for books to read, and it just came across my Kindle. So I was like, okay, I'll just read this. And is In Debt to the Mafia. This one was written by Rosa Milano. So in this one, there's In Debt to the Mafia. In this one, this mysterious guy came into her house with a dog that's bleeding, was injured. She's a volunteer at a shelter. And so he brought his injured dog there. And he was like, fix him. He went back out, did some killings. And then he gave her a chip that it's at least 10K on the chip. And he told her to hold on to the chip and he'll come back for it. And so he never came back. 5 years later, his dog, they actually got his dog fixed. So his dog was dying. It was so sad. While I was reading, I get emotional when it comes to pet.
Yes.
So I got really emotional.
Girl, like when I watch Marley and Me, I still bawl my eyes out.
Yes. And so his dog, had cancer. So his dog was dying. So she's like, okay, I'm going to go look for him and let him know that his dog is dying.
So
Because his dog's been...
he left the dog there 5 years?
Yeah. He left his dog with her for 5 years. I know. I was so sad. Okay. Anyways, so she went to go look for him. And then she told him, because she's like, well, I've been watching his dog for 5 years, so I'm going to go cash in that chip at the casino. And so to help the shelter, because the shelter is going to get shut down because they don't have any more money for the shelter. So she went to the casino to go cash the chip, but they're like, you can't cash this chip. And so long story short, he was at the casino. And so she told him that, well, your dog is dying. If you don't go see him now, then you will never, ever see him again. So he went with her to go look at his dog. Oh, that scene was so sad. Okay.
Does the dog die?
Yeah, the dog died. It was so sad. Okay, I'm not going to get emotional like the other time. But anyways, so she asked him, and then because it's all mafia stuff, it gets really complicated. He is trying to find out the snitch who's been giving out their information. And so his boss told him that he has 2 days to go look for the snitch. And so he told her that he's gonna spend 48 hours, 2 days with her, pretending to be her boyfriend, to look for if the snitch is in that town where she lives. And so yeah, it got really complicated. Oh my gosh. He was gone for 5 years was because he was in jail. So I was like, but then he said that he left his dog with her because he knows that she will take care of his dog.
The dog died of sadness.
Seriously. So yeah, those are the 3 books that I've read these past few weeks. And I am currently reading, I don't remember any of the names. Oh my gosh. I'm so bad. I am currently reading Conquer by Colette. I'm totally gonna butcher this. 𝐅𝐸𝐥𝐥𝐿. And it is still quite very, very mysterious. They met each other at the airport. He was like, I'm gonna have you. And he was like, we will see each other again. And then I left off there. But he is very mysterious. Like, I have no idea. Like, he went through some stuff that he was trained to be a killer. So I don't know. But I'm liking it.
Dun.
Yes, I'm liking it. I will be back and let you guys know more, since it was an arc. So hopefully that didn't spoil to anyone. But I will be back and talk more about it. And I have 2 other, when we don't have any arcs to read at all, we don't have any. But when we finally got one, tons of them come flying in. So I have 2 other more arcs to read. And oh my gosh, I totally forgot to mention White Nights. I read White Nights also by Anna Zyris and Charmaine Pauls. Oh my gosh, I love Anna. And I've read a series by Charmaine Pauls, and oh my goodness. They both write dark romance. So I love dark romances. But then White Nights is not as dark as their other books.
What is that about? I keep seeing it. I want to read it. It looks really good.
Yes, I love the cover. She's a nurse. She's a nurse, and one of his bodyguard was shot. And So they took his bodyguard to the hospital, and she was a nurse to help tend his bodyguard. And so he saw her. They immediately lust at first sight. So so he wants to get with her, but she's like, okay, no, I don't want to deal with your crazy mafia life. Like, that's not for me. But he would do anything. Literally, he would try to convince her. Like, the things he do to convince her. He's a very controlling hero. If you love controlling hero, then you will totally love him, because I love him. So yes, I don't want to give too much, but that one is, by the time this podcast goes up, that book will be live already. But it's a duet. So if you don't want,
then I won't read it until the second one comes out. When does the second one come out?
The second one, I don't remember. Hold on, let me look. Oh my gosh, that is so long. November.
Guess I won't read it until November.
Mm-hmm. But yes, I love the first book. So
and what arcs do you have to read?
Other arcs that I got is My Perfect Remix by Swati and Squirry Beauty by 𝐅𝐨𝐥𝐥𝐨𝐰. And I still need to read Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy.
So that one's not due until next year.
Yes, but I'm dying to read it. So yes, those are the 3 arcs that I have on my Kindle right now. So yep.
So I finished reading, I think I read like 3 books this week. I finished reading Beneath the Wreckage by Catherine Gowes, and I loved it. I was reading that one really slow. I didn't want it to end, and then at the same time, like, I think I made a comment to you saying that I was reading and it felt like it was a long book, but it's a normal sized book for her. But I loved it. It literally, everybody knows how much I love Wrecked Palace.
Yes.
That book is hands down my favorite of Catherine. I love it so much. This one is like head to toe with that one.
Wow, okay.
I loved it. As everybody knows, Hunter came out in the previous book. I mean, he's come out in all the books, but you see a little bit more of him last book. He got shot protecting Shay, who was the heron from the last book. And in this book, the heron, she arrives on the island. She's come back after several years of being away. She has a sort of sad past and unclosed past, you can say. Her friend disappeared when they were younger, so she never fully recovered from that. So there's so many stuff that goes on in that freaking island that I'm just like, oh my god. And I freaking loved it. It was so good. Hunter was goals.
Girl. Even the 4th book,
Reckless Refuge.
Okay, yes, in that one, he was already sweet in that one. Remember how when that guy was approaching her and he was like, "Is he bothering you?" He was like already such protective guy, and I was like, I was dying.
He's hiding so much. Like, he hides a lot of his stuff. I don't want to give away too much, but I will say that he does suffer somewhat from, like, I wouldn't say PTSD, but sort of, plus other stuff that he feels guilty for, other stuff that, it's out of his control.
Yeah.
But you love him so much more in this book. Like, the sexual tension was off the roof. I was like, oh my God. I loved it. I loved Piper. And there's 2 characters in there that I freaking loved. And when the book goes live, so I'll talk about it more because I don't want to give spoilers. But it was amazing. I loved it. I finished it, and I'm just like, I was in a book hangover for like a couple of days. I wanted just to keep rereading it over and over.
Yeah.
It was really good. So I totally recommend it. Like Catherine went from, because if you read her earlier, like her early books, she's a small town writer. But I feel that her books moved a little bit to suspense, small town suspense. And it's a really good suspense. I loved it. I love her writing, and I can't wait for everybody to read this one. It's so good. Hunter is amazing. I also finished reading. So Cora Riley, I think that's how you pronounce her last name. She is releasing a book like in a couple of days, I think. And I'm very intrigued by it. So I remember I had bought one of her books years ago, like a while ago. So I went back and I read that one, which was Sweet Temptation. So Sweet Temptation was like, I don't do age gaps, y'all. Everybody knows I don't do age gaps, but this one was an age gap, and I was like on the edge of my seat. I loved it. So Casio, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He is in the whole mafia world. He has 2 kids. His wife just passed away, and he needs a wife for his kids. What he expects is a typical mafia guy. Like, he wants a wife to be at home, cook, take care of the kids, and do her wifely duties. That's what he wants and expects. So enter Julia. She is, I believe, when they meet, she's younger. And he has to wait until she's 18.
Okay.
In order for her to be married to him. So she starts off, she turns 18. I think they marry like the day after she turns 18.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So she goes from being this adolescent to the wife mother duty.
Yeah.
And I loved it though. It was so cute because the way she changes him, because she's very not, I wouldn't say scared of Casio, but she's her guard is up. She doesn't trust him. She's worried, and she's also very concerned because she believes that he had something to do with his wife's death. So she goes into, that marriage not knowing what to expect. She doesn't know how to take care of kids. And then she ends up falling for these kids, and the kids fall in love with her, and I loved it. It was so good. I don't do age gaps, and I freaking loved this one. And I don't know, it was just the way that Casio changed for her. I was like, I loved it. Totally recommend it if you're into age gaps. I totally recommend that one. It was amazing. And which one did I read? And I think that's all I've read, actually. I am rereading. I did reread Indigo Ridge by Daphne Perry. I know I can't say much about it, but guys, that book is seriously my favorite book of 2021. Loved it. Small town suspense. Daphne said no angst. There's angst. There is the hero is sexy AF. Everything about this book is perfection. And I reread that one, and I'm currently reading the Casanova Batios one.
How far are you?
Girl, don't ask me that. I am in chapter 2. Hold on. I have it right here. Yeah, I'm in page 8.
Oh my goodness. Read faster.
because I don't know if I mentioned this. I went into a Teal Swan binge thanks to Payne. I blame her. I read The Stopover. I went directly to The Takeover. Then I read Mr. Masters, and then Mr. Spencer, and then that's it. So it was like literally 4 books back to back. Literally. So I was like, okay, I was like so behind on my arcs. I remember that was like you said, like when you don't have anything to read and you decide to free read, you end up getting all these arcs. And I was binge reading, and I had like 5 arcs in my Kindle. Yes.
Good luck. Did you finish those?
Yeah. Remember that was like a while ago.
Weeks ago, yeah.
That I had like a freaking big list of books that I read.
Oh, yeah.
And that I forced myself not to read Mr. Garcia. And I ended up getting Gym Junkie.
Oh, okay.
And then the Casanova release, and then you just sent me
Dr. Stanton.
Yes. So I am trying not to like hit another binge read because I'm trying to like space them out, but I am reading the Casanova chapter 2, guys. So next time I do the podcast, I'll literally be done. Ask me if I went directly to Mr. Garcia. We shall see. But yeah, so that's what I'm reading. And I don't feel like I read a lot this week.
I didn't either, but those are like a few weeks ago. So
I know. I did get the arc for Love or Honey by Stacey Hart. I'm so excited for that one. It's like an enemies to lovers. My favorite jam. So I'll probably read that one after I finish the Casanova. That'll be a good excuse because that's an arc. I did download Dear Enemy by Kristen Cayhan. Because I really like the cover. So I'll probably read that one after I finish the other books. But yeah, so that's what I read.
Let's see, a book that I am excited for. Obviously, Ferrera by T.L. Swan.
That comes out like in November, right?
I hope so. I'm dying for that one. I really hope it's November. Or October, please.
She told us when we spoke to her around November, right?
Yeah. But I hope she will release it before November because I'm dying for that one. It's gonna be so forbidden. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Wait, is that the sibling?
You need to read the Italian first before you be like that, because you'll be like, oh my gosh, no. I think it's gonna be. I seriously don't think they are gonna be sisters and brothers, but I seriously think her mom had an affair, and so they probably.
So what if they are like half siblings?
Because she did say that T did say they are related.
Maybe they're like distant cousins or something.
See, that's what I'm thinking. It might be cousins or something, but who knows? But I am dying for Ferrera, and I seriously have no idea what Bad Cruise is going to be about. But by 𝐅𝐨𝐥𝐥𝐵, I can't. I have a feeling it's like how she said it's one of the teasers. It's in paradise, so they might be on vacation. But
I don't know why I keep thinking that it's a young, like not young adult, but like early 20s.
It might be early 20s because he is her ex-boyfriend's best friend. So yes, I'm dying for that one too. And let's see. And obviously Indigo Ridge by Daphne Perry. Everything by Daphne I would read, and I'm dying for those holiday novellas.
I know, me too. Oh my God. The first one.
Yes. I read those small blurb of each book and I was like, can it be November already? Like, I want to read these books. I get they're going to be short, but I know I would want them longer.
Especially the first one. I have a feeling the first one's going to be my favorite. It's as a billionaire and she's taking care of his kids.
Yeah. Because you know how what is it? The Booty? Mm-hmm. It was a short novella for the Calamity Montana series.
For the Bribe.
And I wanted more. It was just a novella, but I wanted more. So I'm pretty sure these 3 novellas, with the Holiday Brothers, I would want more. Definitely, I think you should just make them a full book instead of novellas, because I think I would want more. And let's see. Who else this year? Do you have anything else this year? Let's see. Next year, obviously, Ruthless Rival by L.J. Shin. And anything that T.L. Swan, Daphne Perry, Corinne Michaels, Monica James. Oh my gosh, that Viking series. I'm dying for that Viking series.
That one comes out in October, I think.
Yeah, but I'm seriously so scared of it. But I'm dying for it. But yeah, anything by like my go-to authors, anything they releases, I will immediately pick them up. With no question, I will definitely pick them up. But even if they give me anxiety, I will pick them up. So maybe that's it for. I can't remember everything at the top of my head. So,
well, I am excited for, like you said, the novellas that Daphne Perry is taking out, and they're coming out under the name of Will and Ash. So it's the first one is The Naughty, The Nice, and The Nanny. And I think that, like I said, I think that one's gonna be my favorite. That one's a billionaire. He's a single dad. That's my jam. The second one is 3 Bells, 2 Bows, and 1 Brother's Best Friend. Ooh, who doesn't love a brother's best friend? And then the third one is A Partridge and a Pregnancy. So that one's a surprise pregnancy. Who doesn't love a surprise pregnancy? Love it. And so again, that one's gonna come out to Will and Ash, and I'm also freaking excited, and I am dying, and I'm freaking going nuts waiting for The Bully by Will and Ash. Yes. I need that book. I am like dying for it. Like, I loved The Bluff hardcore, but I have a feeling The Bully's gonna take over it. I don't know. I just love like anything Willa and Daphne. It automatically goes to my favorite books of the year. No questions asked. Maybe I'm playing favoritism. I don't know, but love it. And you did mention Indigo Ridge. I was honored to read it early. So I can't say much about it, but I will say that I'm freaking out of this world excited for the second book of that series. Did she announce the name already?
Yeah.
Okay, so the book is Juniper Hill. Y'all, oh my god, I'm like freaking dying for it. And when you read Indigo Ridge, you're gonna be like, where is it? I need it. I can't even talk about what it is about because I know, but I'm so freaking excited for it. It's gonna be amazing. Like I don't know, I'm playing favorites, but anything Daphne writes, it's magic. I'm also very excited for A Chance for Us by Corinne Michaels, which is my man's book, Oliver. Nobody's gonna stake claim because he's mine. Like, I begged for his book hardcore. I am so excited for his book. Like, y'all have no idea. I am very curious for Bad Cruise, like you said about LJ Shen. I don't know why I think of it, and I think of Midnight Blue.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. And I haven't really read anything about the other one that you mentioned that she's releasing next year.
Ruthless Rival.
Yeah.
That one, on that small announcement that Montlake announced. I seriously don't know if it's gonna be standalone because it's a 3-book, but I don't know if it's standalones or not. But then, because on her teaser it's 4 guys, but then on it says 3-book series where, he the lawyer where her dad is accused of, I don't remember what he was accused of, and he is pretty much the one who's gonna put her dad in jail. But
he's the rival.
Yeah, but they were, I guess they were girlfriend and boyfriend. I don't remember if they're ex or not, but he is gonna put her dad in jail. So yeah,
that sounds interesting. I'm also very excited for Alexandra Silva. Her books that are coming, y'all. Chef kisses. She has so many stuff on her like planner. Write faster, Alexandra. Write faster. And there's a series that I think starts next year. I forgot the name of it. And I forgot how many books it's gonna have, but it's really, really good. If you love dark romance, angsty, that's it for you. I'm also very excited for Catherine's book releases for the rest of the year. Tattered Hearts.
Yes.
That one comes out, I believe, in November.
Yeah.
And I am so freaking excited because that is the girl that came out in Reckless Refuge.
Yeah.
The email girl. But I guess that's gonna have a spin-off. So she's gonna have her own series, and then that's gonna start its own series of its own. Yep. So I'm very excited about that one. I'm trying to see.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot to mention Dangerous Darkness Temptation by Gianna Darling. That duet for the Midnight Dynasty. That it's coming out this month, so I'm dying for it. But
yeah, I'm excited for that one too. I'm very excited for The Senior by Monica Murphy. Because if you read The Junior, whoa, that cliffhanger, guys. That cliffhanger. Like, you're gonna die. I am so freaking excited for The Senior. Like, overall, like, Eli is, from that series, one of my favorites. My favorite is Diego. Because again, I fought for him to get his book too. But Eli is something else. Like, he's hard-headed. He's a guy who is his way or no way. Ava is the type of person, they're the same. They clash all the time. She's hard-headed, it's her way, and I love them. So I'm very excited for The Senior. Like you said, Monica James books.
Yeah.
I'm very nervous. Like, I don't know what to expect.
Yep.
And then Lex Martin released The Varsity Dad a couple months ago. And if you read that book, so you met the Heron's brother. The Heron's brother is getting his own book, and I'm very excited. Although he's a little shithead, because he treats her so bad. And I made a comment to her, I want his book because I want him to redeem himself. Like, have you read it?
No.
So in the book, he wants nothing to do with the Heron, meaning her sister. Because he doesn't want a reminder of what they went through in the past. So he wants to cut ties from her. And it hurts, because she loves him so much and he wants nothing to do with her. I'm like, so I remember I told her, I'm like, he needs to redeem himself. Like, as a brother, he needs to redeem himself. So I'm very excited for that book. I think she has it scheduled for January of 2022. And anything Claire Contreras, the third book in her current series. I'm so excited. She's supposed to come out with another of the Secret Society books, which I'm so excited for. So hopefully she releases something else this year. I'm dying for more of her books. And I think I'm very excited for any Emma Chase books too. Getting Real. I think is that her?
Yeah.
Getting Real by Emma Chase. I'm so excited for that one.
Yep. Oh,
That one, that audio comes out in October.
Yes.
The ebook and paperback does come out in January.
Yes.
So if you're an audiobook lover, comes out in October. I think towards the end of October or mid-October. And then the paperback ebook comes out in January. So make sure you check that out. And then anything, also Molly McAdams has a series, a current series. She released Passion this year. The next book I'm very excited for. So I love her books, but I miss her making me cry. Like when she wrote Fire earlier this year, that book still makes me cry. Oh, and the last book that I am going to mention, I am super duper 100% super excited for Jay McLean's second book of the Pieces of You series. I am dying for that one. Like, she hasn't announced when it's coming out yet. And so there's no release date. I'm going nuts. Like, I want it. I'm dying. So I'm super excited for that one. And I think that's pretty much it.
You guys know I love the Fallen series by Gianna Darling. And she did tease a title for the next Fallen Men book next year. CW. I have no idea what it's going to stand for.
I need to catch up with that series.
Yeah, you have to go. Because you're like, you need to read 4 books before you even get to the 7th book. So, yeah. So I'm dying for this one.
Well, I'm also very excited for... I can't say much, but Mary Elizabeth is... So she has Criminal. Criminal, I think, comes out later this year. Towards the end, I think in December, towards the end of the year. Or November, something like that. That one's going to be really good. That one is about the hero of the first book. So I would recommend, if you're excited for Criminal, you read the first book, because you're not going to have any idea what the heck is going on. I'm very excited for that one. And then the book that comes after that one, I can't say much about that one just because I don't know what's going to happen, just because she is coming out with this novella, Kiss of Death. And I believe, don't quote me if it changes, but I believe you have to read that one to understand the 4th book. I think. Because I can't say much. I can't say much. Okay, so she has a novella coming out, Kiss of Death.
Yeah.
Super excited about that one. Okay, so when she was telling me about it, I can't talk about it. But let's just say that I am freaking terrified. And I'm excited at the same time because she listened to me. How she listened, sure? That's what I'm going to say. How she listened, I have no idea yet. But she did change something that I begged her to change. So I'm not going to say what until later on. But that's what happens. I don't know what she's going to pull me through, though, because I'm not the type of person who likes when the hero or the heroine sleep around with other people in the book. So I don't know what's going to happen. Oh, I'm so nervous. But the 4th book of the other series, it's going to be amazing. I don't know much about it, but all I know is who the hero is for that one. And yeah, I'm dying. So I'm very excited for that one. When I know more, I'll share it because I don't really know much. So I don't know what I can say and what I should say. And because I don't know, she doesn't. She says something, and then when you read the book, you're like, what the heck? You lied to me. That's not how it went. So I don't know what the heck is going on. So I won't say anything in case she changes her mind. But I'm very excited for those books. I know Criminal. She had a cover, and I can say this because she made a comment on her Facebook group. She had the cover done for Criminal.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. I liked it. But then something happened, and we were back and forth, like discussing pictures. Yeah. The new picture and the new cover, because she redid it. It is fire. So Criminal is gonna be out of y'all ain't ready. So make sure you add that to your TBR. I'm so excited. When I know more about it, I'll share more because I legit know nothing. but I'm super excited for those. So we hope you enjoyed today's podcast. It was a little bit, I don't know if it's shorter because we did go off topic a little bit. But we hope you enjoyed today's podcast. We are going to be having some interviews coming up. Make sure you keep an eye on our Instagram to know who we're going to be interviewing because we do add posts on there where you can submit your questions. I do want to also say that we posted, and we'll post it again this week. That way, in case you didn't see it the first time, we decided to do something really fun to where we want to invite a listener, a bookstagrammer, or a reader to our podcast with us. Mm-hmm. You guys, whoever we pick is going to pick the topic of the episode of the podcast. So, like I said, we are going to put that in our Instagram. So if you guys missed it, you guys can see it again. If you guys have any questions, just let us know. Our Instagram handle is at BookBuzz Podcast. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.